Hey everyone, Decav13 here. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Fate Stay Night. Alright, getting ready for day 9 now, which means we are, I believe, getting close to the end here, because I think there's only 6 days left? So we'll have to see what exactly happens in these last couple of days. So I imagine things are going to start picking up. So let's see what happens here. February 8th. Neo. I'm dreaming. It must be because my blood is feverish and my entire body is throbbing. Something I'd rather not have to remember plays out in my dream. This is my oldest memory. It's also a memory I can't escape. It's a scene from 10 years ago, and one I usually try not to think back on. I can't ever erase it from my memory, though. It's not that I forgot. It's not even that I want to forget. It's just that it's already happened. So it's not especially painful. And I don't really feel all that angry about it either. The past is the past. I can't return to it. I can't redo it. All that happened is that I escaped and lived on. Looking forward is all I can do. Nobody told me to do that. But I've thought about that, even if just vaguely, since I was a kid. I can't forget or deny the past. The only way to keep the memory of what we lost alive is to acknowledge it. I wake up to find my body is still burning up. I must have wound up falling asleep out in the cool air last night. Inside this dimly lit shed with me, and...
Saber!
目が覚めましたか、シロー。部屋を抜け出すのは構いませんが、ここで眠るのはだらしがないのではありませんか。
It's fair.
おはよう。いや、ゆうべは体が熱くて、外に出ていたらつい眠くなっちまったんだ。
見ればわかります。説明はいいですから、次からは気をつけてください。マスターにこのような場所で休息を取られては、私の立場がありませんから。
すまん。今後はできるだけ部屋で休む。
分かっていただければ助かります。ところでシロー、先ほどからタイガが呼んでいるのですが。
藤姉が呼んでるってなんでさ。
朝食の問題ではないでしょうか。朝食の時間はとうに過ぎていますから。
え？うわ、もう7時過ぎてるのか。やばい、寝過ごした。
そうですね。シローが最後に起きるのは珍しい。よほど昨夜のリンとの鍛錬が答えたのでしょう。
Saber provides a calm analysis of the situation. But I don't have time for idle chit-chat.
起こしに来てくれて悪いが、先に戻っていてくれ。俺もすぐに着替えて台所に行くから。
はい。それでは、できる限りタイガをなだめているとしましょう。
That'd be great. Saber turns and heads back to the house. Calm Fujine. Saber sure has adapted well to our morning routine. I dash to the kitchen. I ignore Fujine's jeers and prepare breakfast as quickly as I can.
お待たせ。学校の門限まで時間がないからな。手早く食べちゃってくれ。
I plop breakfast onto the table.
No!
Suddenly.
なんじゃこりゃー!
Oh boy. Fujine explodes, practically spitting fire.
なにこれ！焼いたトーストだけじゃない！シロー、なんで今日の朝ごはんこれだけなのよ！
な、仕方ないだろう。寝坊したんだから。他のものを作ってる余裕なんてないし、だいたいパン食なんてこんなもんじゃないか。単にサラダと卵焼きがないだけなんだから、そう大差ないぞ。
大差なんてあります！ね、みんなもそう思うでしょ？
Fujine tries to appeal to Saber and Tosaka, who both eat in silence. This isn't going to go in her favor. Neither of them is as gluttonous as Fujine. She's barking up the wrong tree.
そうね。
藤村先生じゃないけど、こんな手抜きは容認できないかな。パン食を舐めてるとしか思えないわ。
Wrong again, Shirou. Hey, wait a minute. I thought she didn't eat breakfast to begin with. Saber. Now why is she sighing all disappointed? That's way out of character.
ほら、みんなシローが悪いって。多数決で決定したから反省した後、ちゃんとした朝ごはんを提供すること。
そんな出来レースに従えるか。そもそもな、今からおかずなんて作ってたら遅刻するぞ藤根。もう7時半なんだから、パンかじりながら走っていかないと間に合わないから諦めろと提案する。
いいよ。私遅刻か空腹かの選択なら朝ごはんを尊重するから。
するな。そんな教師がどこにいる。いいからさっさと食べて学校に行けっての。言っとくけど、俺は意地でもこれ以上の飯は用意しないからな。
もうシローったら変なところで真面目なんだから。そんなじじくさいこと言ってるとすぐおじいさんになっちゃうんだからね。
言われるまでもない。藤姉のおかげで俺はすっかりじいさん趣味だよ。
I huff and take a bite of toast. Okay, she might be right. There is something kind of sad about there being so many people here and then only having toast for breakfast. The sounds of clashing shinai echo through the dojo. Each bout goes essentially the same as they had the days before. Saber casually sweeps my desperate strikes aside and counterattacks far, far more effectively. I barely manage to block and continually strike back, only for Saber to riposte. And I lose. Every time. I stop, breathing heavily, shoulders heaving. Wiping sweat from my brow, I work to get my breathing under control.
何を休んでいるのですか。昨日までのシロならそこで諦めるようなことはなかったはずです。さあ。
いや、ちょっと待って。これ以上は息が続かない。少し休憩。
何をらしくないことを。シロが来ないというのでしたら私から攻め込むだけですが、それでも構わないのですね。
Saber stares down at her poor student. My body just won't listen no matter how she looks at me.
はあ、一体どうしたのですシロ。今朝のあなたは今までとは別人のようです。まっすぐに打ち込んでくる太刀だけは目を見張るものがあったというのに、今朝のシロには力強さを感じません。
それは自分でも分かってるんだけどな。どうもうまくいかない。
My situation has drastically changed since yesterday.
体の熱がまだ取れないのですか。ですがそんな理由で体のキレが落ちるようでは話になりません。少し頭を冷やして気持ちを入れ替えてください。
いや、そうするんだったらまずあれをなんとかしてくれ。
That. I point toward our audience standing by the wall. Oh, right.
何？私に構わなくていいから訓練を続けていいわよ。
Tosaka doesn't get it. I can't concentrate on fighting Saber with her staring at me like that.
リンが気になるのですか。それこそ修行不足ですね。いいでしょう。それでしたら見学者のことなど気にならないようにして差し上げます。
待てセイバー、こっちはまだ息が。
問題はありません。そのようなものは戦いの最中に整えるものです。
Well, Saber suddenly vanishes. The moment I realize I'm in danger and raise my shinai to guard my face, Saber strikes me right on the head. It was a rough morning. After getting knocked out, I stopped worrying about Tosaka watching. My focus went entirely to blocking Saber's attacks, and the next thing I knew, it was lunchtime.
けどあれよね、セイバーって本当に冷静よね。3時間もシロと試合してて眉一つ動かさないんだから。普段も無口だけど戦闘時はさらに磨きがかかるっていうか、何？もう無機質みたいな感じ？
I'm not sure if it's because she enjoyed seeing me get knocked around, but Tosaka's in a good mood. The two are resting in the living room. As for me, I'm preparing lunch by myself as punishment for my lax approach to training this morning. Unbelievable. I want to just make something easy like cold somen noodles.
無機質ですか。そうですね。そう意識したことはありませんが、剣を握っている時は感情を止めているのかもしれません。それは試合とい
何？それって女の身で剣を持つための心構えってやつ？体格で劣っているから心だけは負けないようにって。
それは違います、リン。冷静であるのは戦う時の心構えですが、それは男も女も変わりのないことでしょう。リンとて戦闘時には情を捨てるはずです。あなたはそれができる人ですから。
言ってくれるじゃない。まあそりゃあ事実だけどさ。けどセイバーのは私とは違うわよ、絶対。私は捨ててるのは甘さだけだもの。あなたほど達観はできないわ。
そのようですね。だからあなたは華やかなのでしょう。戦いの中でも女性のしなやかさを保っていられる。
何よ、嫌味？華やかさで言ったらあなたにはかなわないわ。シローがあっちにいるから白状するけどね、私初めてあなたを見た瞬間にすっごい美人だなって見とれたんだから。
I can hear you, Tosaka.
それはリンの思い違いでしょう。この身が華やかに見えたのなら、それは私ではなくセイバーというクラスが華やかなだけではないでしょうか。
そんなんじゃないってば。純粋にね、同じ女として負けたって思ったんだもの。そうでもなければあそこまでショックは受けなかったわよ。
ですからそれが間違いです。私は一度も自身を女性だと思ったことはないし、一度も女性として扱われたことはありません。その私が華やかであるはずがない。
Saber's words bring the conversation to an end. As I listen in, kitchen knife in hand, I find myself getting irritated about what Saber's saying.
前から思ってたけど、自分のことを何だと思ってんだろうな、あいつ。
I chop the chicken a bit harder than I need to. For some reason, I'm annoyed.
私は自分を女性だと思ったことはありません。
まあ俺には関係のない話だけど。
I slam my knife down to the cutting board as if it were a hammer. It doesn't help me feel any better.
今日の課題はそれね。昨日より数は増やしたし、そっちの体も落ち着いてるみたいだから、今度こそ成功するでしょ。
I have no idea how she carried them here, but Tosaka reveals about 40 lamps.
私はちょっと外に出てるわ。しばらく経ったら戻ってくるから、それまでに終わらせておきなさい。
Tosaka leaves her room. Alright. It's only been a night, but I hope I can succeed at least a couple of times.
とりあえず半分済んだか。
I took an hour to work on strengthening about 20 lamps. Half of them shattered, and nothing at all happened to the other half. Of those that didn't change, maybe 5 looked like they'd been infused with magical energy. Now for the remaining 20.
待てよ、5つもあればテストとしては十分なんじゃないか。
All the lamps look to be antiques. I feel bad about breaking more of them. Yeah. I'll go call Tosaka. Well, actually, I'll wait. I'll just wait here quietly. Tosaka must have gone out for a reason, and I just have to do the assignment I was given.
だよな。昨日の失敗もあるし、今日はできるだけ多く成功させとかないと。
I face the lamps with renewed spirit. There are 20 left. I should go through them before Tosaka comes back. It's 2 o'clock. There's no sign of Tosaka returning, so I just focus on finishing my assignment.
あれ、電話だ。
The ringing just reaches my ears from elsewhere in the house.
今か。 遠坂はってうちの電話なんだから出るわけにはいかないよな。
I doubt it's an important phone call, but I shouldn't ignore it. I stand up and head to the living room to answer the phone. There's nobody in the living room. Saber and Tosaka must be in the courtyard.
はい、エミヤですが。
よう、エミヤ。今日も休んでいるようだけど、
Oh, Shinji.
体の調子が悪いのかい？
All of a sudden, Shinji's voice sounds from the other end of the line, heavy with barely restrained laughter.
シンジか。なんか用か。話すことなんてお互いないと思うが。
なんだよ、釣れないな。こっちはエミヤに一つ教えてやろうと思って電話をしたのに。
俺に教える？
ああ、どうしても話しておきたいことがあったんだけど、お前これ以上長引くのもなんだし、もう我慢できないから連絡を入れたんだ。それでそっちに遠坂はいるのか？
Shinji sounds kind of odd. He seems weirdly excited. I can hear other students in the background, so he must still be at school. It's a little past 2. Fifth period should be over, so I think it's break time right now.
おい、聞いてるんだよ、エミヤ。遠坂はそこにいるの？いないの？
今はいない。少し席を外している。
そうか、ちょうどいい。二人だけで話がしたかったんだ。いいこと教えてやるからさ。
Now that sounds
今から
dangerous.
学校に来いよ、エミヤ。もちろん遠坂には内緒でね。
I don't know how to respond to that. Shinji's acting weird, and we're already talking. I don't see any reason to go all the way to school. If I take off without telling Tosaka, it'd feel like a betrayal.
いや、悪いが学校には行けない。用があるなら来週まで待てよ。休み明けには登校するから。
はあ？何勝手なこと言ってんだよ、お前。それじゃ遅いんだよ。我慢できないって言ったじゃないか、今。
Shinji's yelling now. He must be really excited because I can hear his heavy breathing over the phone.
少しは考えてるじゃないか。そうだよね。さすがに今更一人でやってくるわけがないか。どう見ても怪しいもんな、この電話。エミヤでもやばいって感じたわけだ。
His tone shifts entirely and even starts laughing.
ちょっと待て。落ち着け。お前変だぞ、シンジ。何があったか知らないが。
嘘をつくなよ、エミヤ。遠坂のことだ。お前に全部話したんだろ。家を隠さなくて。そうだよね。エミヤはセイバーのマスター。
What does he mean?
僕よりずっと一発な人殺しってわけだ。
Shinji seems to be enjoying himself. I've known him for about 5 years now, but I've never seen him so wound up.
シンジ、お前。
いいから学校で待ってるよ。急げよ、エミヤ。今からなら6次元目には間に合う。ちょうど藤村の授業だし、遅刻しても問題ないだろう。
いや、いくら藤根でも遅刻したら怒るぞ。それに6次元目だけ出るなんて欠席するより文句を言われそうだな。
そんなのは自業自得じゃないか。ああ、それと遠坂にバラしたら本当に絶交するからな。今までさくらのことは目をつむってやったんだ。最後ぐらいは友人として義理を果たしてもいいだろう。
Our conversation ends there. All I hear is the buzzing electronic tone from the receiver.
なんだあいつ。
What should I do? Tosaka should be in the house, but I don't see her anywhere. If I go to school, I can't bring Saber. But then, if I don't do what Shinji asks, I'm worried that what he might do. He's probably agitated because of that merciless rejection Tosaka gave him yesterday. If I ignore him, he might get violent with Sakura again.
そうだな。まだ明るいし問題ないだろう。
I should hurry now that I've made a decision. If I hurry, I should be able to make it by 6th period. There's nobody at the school gate. From the outside, it looks like the school is deserted since class is in session. Maybe there's no physical education class either since there's nobody in the courtyard either. Well, that's going to change in a few minutes. When 6th period's over, school's out. The campus and exits will be overflowing with people on their way out. I head up to the 3rd floor. There's nobody in the hallway either. Everyone must be in their classrooms, so I feel a little awkward walking into Class C.
丸見えってわけでもなし、さっさと教室に行くか。
Class C is down the hall. Right now I'm in front of Class H, which is closest to the stairs. There are 5 classrooms between me and my destination. Uh-oh. A wave of dizziness slams into me. My entire body is also overcome with nausea. My stomach churns. My senses are going completely haywire. Red floods my vision, as if blood were seeping into my eyes. The temperature around me hasn't changed, but my body is suddenly unbearably hot. I stumble. Strength leaves my body. I feel like I'm withering, and I can't do anything to stop it, in the same way you can't stop sand from falling in an hourglass. I'm suffocating. My throat burns. Was all the air sucked from this hallway? From the entire school? I sway and, by accident, stagger toward a window. Desperate for air, I jerk it open. Oh, yeah, it's active. Oh, I'm guessing it was Shinji's, huh? I freeze. This is so unbelievable, I can't even find the wherewithal to get confused. Outside the window, the entire campus is a field of endless red. It looks like the school was carved out of the world and plunged into a sea of red. The school building looks like an altar draped in red canopy. And then finally, I realize what's happening. I move away from the window. I muster up what sense I have left and force my feet to move, heading into the classroom closest to me. Yup. Inside, not a single student is seated in any of the chairs. They're all lying on the floor. Even the teacher is on the floor behind the podium. They're still breathing. Everyone is convulsing as if pleading for help. Nobody is dead yet. The students don't have the strength to get up. They're just waiting to rot away. Seeing their miserable state on the floor, brings to mind the burning ruins from that day. The nausea intensifies, but I can still get a handle on the situation. I take a look at the students on the floor. It's difficult, but we can breathe. They're not dead. If I hurry and get help, there may be a chance to save them. But the moment I check the face of a student nearby, something clicks inside my head. It's hard as wax. Not everyone is like this. It varies from person to person, but the most severely weakened student's blood seems to have coagulated around their joints. Oily and glistening. Stiff, motionless arms, fixed, staring eyes. Just like wax figures. I know this. I recognize this scene. This is just a hellscape. I know this site well. All that's sustaining me now is anger that has completely eclipsed any fear. My left arm tingles. The command spell on the back of my hand is warning me that an enemy is nearby. I run, though my breathing is heavy and labored. I've long since lost my mind.
Yo, Enya. 思ったより元気そうで何よりだ。どう？気に入ったかい？この
Yeah,
思考。
that figures. At the end of the hallway, Shinji Mato is standing in front of Class C. My arm throbs. My command spells are screaming at me, telling me that the boy just ahead caused all of this.
これはお前の仕業か、シンジ。
I can't breathe properly, but I glare at Shinji, who's keeping his distance. He must really like what he's seeing, because the next thing I know, Shinji throws his arms wide and starts cackling in the blood-red hallway.
そうだとも。お前がやってきたのが分かったんでね。すぐに結界を発動させたんだ。タイミングには苦労したんだぜ。何しろあんまり早すぎると逃げられるし、遅すぎると顔を合わせるからさ。 僕としちゃエミヤが顔面蒼白になるのを見たかったわけだし、単純に事を起こすのだけは避けたかったんだ。
そうか、話があるっていうのは嘘か。
話はこれからさ。僕とお前どちらが優れているか遠坂に思い知らせないといけないし、エミヤには嘘の謝罪をしないといけないからね。ほら、エミヤには黙ってたけど学校に結界を敷いたのは僕なんだ。
Shinji laughs like it's the funniest thing ever. That... I guess I've learned never to trust him. Yeah.
あれ、思ったより驚かないな。なんだ、この結界は僕じゃないって言ったのにエミヤは信じてくれなかったんだ。いいねいいね、お前でも人を信じないなんてことがあったわけだ。
Shinji's merry laughter bores into my skull like a drill. I have to point out, I'm plenty surprised. I'd just been bracing myself to learn who set up this bounded field, Shinji or the other master. That was all. But so much for my optimism. I should have settled things with Shinji the moment I learned he was a master. This is all my fault.
シンジ、なんでこんなものを仕掛けた。戦う気がないって言ったのも嘘だったのか。
いや、それは本当なんじゃない。僕だってこんなものを発動させる気はなかったんだ。これはあくまで交渉材料だったんだよ。爆弾を仕掛けておけば遠坂だっておいそれと僕を襲わなくなるし、万が一の切り札にもなるからね。
そうか。だが結界の発動にはまだ数日必要だと遠坂は言ってた。それはあいつの読み違いか。
遠坂らしい意見だけどさ、結界は完成していないだけで形はとっくにできているんだぜ。単純に発動させる分には支障はないんだ。ま、おかげで効果は薄いけどね。この分じゃ一人殺すのにあと数分はかかるんじゃないかな。
止めろ。
Nausea is long since gone. That one thing is all I can think to say to Shinji right now.
止めろ？何をだい？まさかこの結界を止めろだなんて言ってるんじゃないだろうな。一度起こしたものを止めるなんてそんなもったいないことできないな、僕は。
止めろ。お前、自分が何をしているか分かってるのか。
イラつくな。お前、何僕に命令してるわけ？大体さ、これは僕の力じゃないか。止めるかどうかを決められるのは僕だけだし、止めて欲しかったら土下座くらいするのが筋ってもんじゃないの？まったく、藤村といいお前といい、自分の立場が分かってないな。
What did you do to her?
おい、藤姉がどうしたんだ。
え？ああ、藤村ね。この結界ができてからさ、あいつ結構動けたんだよ。他でさ、倒れずにいた僕のところまでやってきて救急車を呼んでとか言ってきたんだ。すごいよね、教育者の鏡ってやつ。けどそんなもの呼ぶわけにはいかないし、呼ぶ気もないじゃない。藤村のやつ、それでもしがみついてくるもんだからうざくなってさ、蹴り飛ばしてやったらピクリとも動かねえでやんの。
You're a dead man.
あの分じゃ真っ先に死んだんじゃねえの、あいつ。
I feel a switch flipping inside me. Tosaka said something about pressing a switch in my head, but it's nothing like that. There's this echoing clang in my head. A firing hammer strikes inside my head, and the inside of my body suddenly switches over.
最後、結界を止めろ、シンジ。
わからないやつだね。お前に頼まれれば頼まれるほど止めたくなんてなくなる。そんなに気に食わないんなら力ずくで
You're
やってみ
asking
ろ、
for it.
エミヤ。
そうか。なら話は簡単だ。
All I have to do. I need to stop him so I can stop the bounded field. Something surges inside me. Fiery heat blooms through my whole body. There's no more than 20 meters between me and Shinji. It should only take an instant. My body is surging with vitality. So much more than when I activate my magic circuits.
本当にバカだねお前。
A shadow wavers. The dark shape waiting in the corner of the hallway begins to take shape and move. A hard, sharp edge made of darkness itself. It's like a guillotine ready to cleave anything that approaches Shinji in two. I don't know what kind of magecraft it is. 3 shadows emerge. If that's all there is, I guess either of these is fine. I don't need to stop. No, I can't stop. Not now. No matter how strong it may be, if it doesn't hit me, it won't matter. The 3 blades come at me like a blast of wind.
バカはお前だ、シンジ。
This attack is nothing compared to Saber's. I pass through the gaps between the 3 overlapping shadows. I don't feel any danger from the shadows. There's no problem then. Saber taught me that I shouldn't hesitate as long as I don't sense that the attack will be fatal.
Shinji!
I close in on him. He has no shadows protecting him. Just a few more steps. Maybe 3 more meters and I can...
やめろ、来るな。
Shinji turns and runs. The moment I reach out to grab his back, I feel a chill run through my entire body and I quickly jerk my arm back. Something cuts through the air. A black blade slices through the space I've been occupying just an instant before. I stop. I don't know where she came from, but standing in front of me now. I see the woman dressed in ominous black so dark even the most venomous shade of crimson seems to pale in comparison. My mind goes blank with fear. I'm going to die. I don't want to think about it, but the image of my own brutal death fills my head. I sense it. I sense only death. The shadows earlier were nothing like this.
いいぞライダー。遠慮するな。そいつはお前の好きにしていい。
Ryder's form blurs. I need to... This isn't going to be a battle. I retreat immediately. This isn't a good time to fight. I need to regroup and make Shinji stop the bounded field. I'm not sure what happened, but I retreat desperately. Fear makes everything in front of me appear completely white. I don't even know what I'm so terrified of. Without thinking, I throw an arm out to cover my neck. Something sharp buries itself in my arm. The dull sound of scraping bone tells me the next attack will end me. I run. I can't afford to look back. I just cover my vital spots with my hands as best I can in frantic retreat. The sharp edge slowly saws through my body with a horrible jarring sound. A spray of my own blood blots out my vision. Meanwhile... Ryder is rushing toward me so quickly that I can't even see her. With each cut, I hear sounds I can't even recognize coming from my own mouth. But I continue my desperate retreat, somehow surviving the dozens of fatal blows striking at me. I don't know what I'm doing. Ryder's dagger is buried in my arm. My clothes are tattered and torn, my flesh is brutally shredded. But I'm still able to shield myself with my own body, blocking the attacks aimed at my neck and head. This isn't a conscious thing at all anymore. Pure instinct drives my reactions as I desperately try to survive Ryder's attacks. My breathing is labored. I'm only running away, rushed along by the imminent death looming over me. Eventually, whatever strength I have left will fade and she'll catch up to me. Then I'm dead. That's what Saber had been trying to tell me. Don't fight against a servant. Fight wouldn't even be the right word for it. She told me again and again, so why the hell am I in this position now? All I want to do is catch Shinji as fast as possible and make him shut off this goddamn bounded field. So what the hell am I doing?
何してるんだライダー。もういいだろ。さっさと切り殺しちゃえよ。どうせ何もできないんだからさ、そいつは。
Shinji's elated, his voice triumphant. Ryder nods and swings her dagger up in a wide arc. She's striking at my head. I can't dodge. All I can really do is try to prevent her from hitting anything vital. The dagger stabs into my shoulder right below the collarbone. I hear a high-pitched metallic sound, then the click of a tongue. What? The end of Ryder's dagger is starting to disintegrate. Ryder stops. In that instant, I frantically try to come up with a way to leverage this sudden opportunity. Something strikes me with all the force of a sledgehammer and I go flying out the window. It had only been a kick to the stomach, but I go flying, shattering the window. We're on the third floor. Left alone, I'll die of blood loss anyway, so a fall from this height will be enough to finish me off. I mean, an ordinary human would be dead on the spot from a blow strong enough to send them flying like this anyway. I reach out. Maybe I'm not falling yet, or maybe I'm just hallucinating right before I die. But my body is still suspended in midair. I reach out, desperately grasping for something, anything. The sky is crimson. The school is pulsating like a creature's stomach. And am I just going to die? Let something like this happen? Let this happen? Am I going to let myself die without saving so much as a single person? I grit my teeth furiously. I can't win. This is not even a battle. I knew that going in, but I still screwed it up. There's no more pain. All I feel is my sheer rage making my insides unravel. I thought I could do it alone. This is what I get for saying I won't let Saber fight. I was an idiot. I can't save anyone on my own. If I really wanted to end this war, there was only one thing I should have done right from the start. He asked me whether I was really not going to fight, not kill, and not let anyone kill. If I realized my mistake, I should first decide what to fix, then decide who to punish. And then, I see it. There on my arm, still reaching up as if to touch the heavens. My command spells, waiting for an order. I'll summon Saber. I murmur those words like a prayer. My life doesn't matter anymore, but to put a stop to this savage brutality. I muster up all my strength and call for my blade. One of my command spell strokes disappears. At that very moment, the space around me begins to waver. So this is magic. Saber, clad in her silver armor, burst through the ripples in space and time to appear before me. My back slams into the ground. I stop breathing. The force of impact jars every bone and organ in my body. Several ribs crack, or probably break outright. And yet, my body is intact. My bloody arms are still attached.
Shirou!
Saber runs to me. Forcing my numb limbs to move, I push to my feet to show her that I'm alright.
説明している暇はない。状況はわかるな、セイバー。
待ってください、シロ。それはわかりますが、その前にあなたの体を。
ライダーを頼む。あいつはお前でしか倒せない。
いけません。シロの治療が先です。このままではあなたが死ぬ。
それは違う。先にやるべきことがあるだろう。
We need to beat Shinji and Ryder. as quickly as possible. Nothing is more important.
ですがそれでは
Saber's focused only on me. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy about that. But there's no time to argue. If Saber doesn't want to listen, I just need to use my second command spell. She must have understood my resolve. Saber reluctantly accepts my decision.
わかりました。マスター、指示を。
ライダーを倒せ。俺はシンジを叩く。
Saber does not hesitate. She nods and without another word turns toward the school building like a whirlwind. I run up the stairs. Ryder and Shinji are on the third floor. I can tell Shinji's still on the third floor because of the way my command spells are reacting. The moment I set foot on the third floor, sparks fly.
ライダーか。
I couldn't see, but Saber must have parried Ryder's attempt at a sneak attack from above.
シロ、ライダーはここで倒します。あなたはライダーのマスターを。
She doesn't need to tell me. Saber can't possibly lose to Ryder. She won't. I'm absolutely sure after what little I was able to learn of Ryder's abilities during my brief fight with her. Saber's abilities vastly exceed Ryder's.
任せた。だが深追いはするな。シンジを止めればそれで終わる。
I run right past Saber. That same instant, Ryder flings a dagger at me with murderous intent, but Saber rushes in to deflect the attack. I run down the hallway. Ahead, I see a bewildered Shinji.
さすがに手ぶらじゃ無理か。
I need a weapon. It should be long, like the mop leaning against the locker there.
トレース本。
I pass magical energy through my body as I run. Maybe I'm not distracted, or maybe I just can't afford to think of anything else. I manage to strengthen the plastic mop as effortlessly as breathing. The shadows begin forming again. I'm badly injured, but I don't feel the least bit sluggish. More than that, I have a weapon now. That means I don't even need to dodge. I use the mop to smack aside each shadow as it flies toward me. The mop breaks, but I expected as much from something done so hastily. Besides, I don't need it anymore. I'm so close!
シンジ
I lash out with a furious punch. The impact jars my arm, which is still practically cut to ribbons, so painfully that I nearly pass out. I punch Shinji in the stomach, and then grab him and shove him against the wall.
この
Shinji tries to shove my hand away. Without missing a beat, I kick his grasping arm. I can't even control myself right now. I slam the arm I kicked against the wall, and break it. Hell yeah. Give that dickhead a fuck what for. I don't even hear Shinji's screams. This is bad. If I don't focus, it might be me who faints. I should hurry while I can still move. I grab Shinji's hair and smash him against the wall.
悲鳴は後だ。今すぐ結界を止めろ、シンジ。ふざけるな。
Sure, I'll just kill
誰
him.
がお前なんかの。
I grab Shinji by the throat with the arm I can still control. Blood pours from my arm. It seeps through my clothes and it drips onto Shinji's body, staining him.
なら、結界の前にお前の息の根を止めるだけだ。どっちでもいいぞ、俺は。早く決めろ。
I squeeze. It must be all the magical energy coursing through my body. I could snap his neck like a twig.
データラメだ。お前にそんなことできるもんか。それに僕はまだ誰も殺
Just
してな
do
い
it,
ぞ。
Shirou.
ただ
He's
みん
not
な
gonna
から
fucking
少
turn
し
it
だけ
off.
命を分けてもらっただけ。分かった。じゃあな、シンジ。
I squeeze harder. There's no hesitation. Maybe a little sympathy. I feel bad that as a fellow mage, Shinji was never taught the rules of being a mage, and so didn't have any problem killing innocents.
待ってくれ、分かった。僕の負けだ、エミヤ。
No, he's
結界をすぐ
lying.
に止めるから。
I loosen my grip around his throat.
くそ、バカ力出しやがって。おい、ライダー、ブラッドホードを止めろ。
マスターの命が危ないんだぞ。
There's no response from Ryder. But hearing Shinji, Saber takes a step back from Ryder. Ryder lowers her dagger. I see her mouth move.
これでいいんだろう。この結界は特殊らしくてね、一度貼った場所にはそう簡単に貼り直せないらしい。もうここに結界を貼ることはないんだから、その手を離せよ。
そうはいくか。勝った以上はこっちの言い分に従ってもらう。シンジ、レイジを捨てろ。そうすれば二度と争うこともない。
ふざけるな。そんな真似ができるもんか。レイジがなくなったらライダーを従えられない。
Okay.
そうなったら
Dying it is.
マスターでなくなるんだろう。なら信徒の教会に行けばいい。戦いから降りたマスターを保護してくれるそうだからな。それとも何か、身を守るために結界を張ったっていうのは嘘か。
別にそんなこと言ってないだろう。僕はただマスターになってサーバントを従えていれば。
He thought he could be a mage. But what's the point of becoming one?
ここまでだシンジ。レイジを捨てないのなら俺が剥ぎ取る。
剥ぎ取る？
Shinji tilts his head in genuine wonderment. This isn't an act. Shinji really doesn't know what I'm talking about.
いや、だから。
シロ、離れて。
I hear Saber shout. Maybe it's all the training at the dojo, but my body reacts to Saber's words before my brain processes them. I let go of Shinji and jump back. At the moment, Ryder's dagger swings through the spot I've been standing in a heartbeat before.
ライダー。
下がりなさい、マスター。この場から離脱します。
シロ、下がって。ライダーは結界維持に使っていた魔力を全て解放するつもりです。
魔力を解放する？
I look towards Ryder. She does seem odd. The way she just appeared here when she'd been confronting Saber a second ago. The cold air emanating from her. Everything about her is suddenly far more intimidating than she has ever been.
ライダー、何考えてんだお前。エミヤのサーバントにさえ勝てないくせに勝手なことしてんじゃない。
はい、確かに私ではセイバーに及びません。ですがご安心を。我がホームは他のサーバントを凌駕してい
Her
ます。
noble phantasm.
たとえ相手が何者であろうと我が失踪を妨げることはできない。
Ryder raises her dagger. Everyone gasps in surprise. For some reason, Ryder presses her dagger to her neck and slashes her own throat. Red sprays everywhere. Blood gushes from the black-clad Ryder's pale neck.
何を？
Shinji's just as surprised as the rest of us. No matter how extraordinary servants may be, a slashed throat is fatal. Ryder will bleed out and disappear on her own. Oh boy. The splattered blood stops midair and slowly forms into a circle. A magic circle drawn in blood. It's a pattern I've never seen before. The design resembles a creature, an ominous creature. Ryder's created a giant lump of magical energy. The bounded field from earlier seems like child's play compared to this magic circle. This must be a truly massive amount of magical energy. I'm being pushed back as if by a strong wind.
シロ、離れて。ライダーは宝具を使う気です。そこにいては巻き込まれる。
Saber grabs me and jerks me back. She faces down Ryder in a magical circle as she protects me.
逃げるつもりかライダー。自身のマスターをも巻き込むというのなら、ここで引導を渡すだけだ。そのような宝具を使わせはしない。
まさかマスターを守るのがサーバントの役割でしょう。 私はマスターを連れて逃げるだけよ。それが気に食わないのなら追ってきなさい、セイバー。もっともこれを見た後でもあなたに戦う気迫が残っていればの話ですが。
A throbbing sound pulses through the school. With the sound of rending flesh, Ryder's hair whirls around her. Saber tugs my hand and drags me to the ground. There's a roar and then a flash. I close my eyes against the raging wind. But even with my eyes closed, I still feel its intensity. Something white streaks by. A huge bolt of light shoots down the hallway at tremendous speed. All I see before me is dreadful destruction. Shinji and Ryder are gone. The bolt of light wasn't after us. It's probably a means of escape. My wounds hurt. I feel a hammering in my head again. The heat flowing through my body quickly fades.
Shirou.
I don't hear Saber's question. My vision goes blank white. I'm having that dream. Maybe this is what death looks like to me. The closer I get to death, the more I keep seeing these images I don't want to see. I see motionless bodies crumbling and disappearing. That moment when everyone desperately sought help, but none came. That was painful. It was so terrible it hurt even to live, and I thought maybe just disappearing would put me out of my misery. Dazed, I reached my hand out. But not because I wanted help. I just thought the sky was so far away. That was my final thought, I think. And then I lost consciousness, and my outstretched hand fell to the ground. Or rather, it should have. A large hand grasps the smaller one as it falls. He rushed into the fire to save somebody, and found me. I remember that face. I remember the tears pooling in his eyes. How overjoyed he was to have found a living human being. He looked so happy. It seemed almost like he was the one being saved, not me. And then, he actually looked envious of me, who was on the brink of death. He even looked grateful for something as he rescued the strange child. It was a turning point in my life. The weakness I showed in accepting death became a strength, a desire to live. My mind, which had practically gone blank, was filled with the joy of being saved in that moment. I tried moving my fingers with what strength I had left so as not to let go of the man's hand. Then I finally passed out. The next thing I knew, I was in the hospital, and the man who saved me had come to visit. That was 10 years ago. From then on, all I ever did was follow in Kiritsugu's footsteps. The only thing I could think of was being like him. It's not because he saved me. I couldn't shake off the image of his face back then, and I tried to become the same thing. I've been striving for that ever since. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I dreamed I wouldn't notice. That's right, that I would one day. I held to the hope. The dream that one day I, too, would be saved if I could smile like Kiritsugu did back then. When I open my eyes, I'm in my living room. The ticking of the clock is awfully loud. It looks like I've been sleeping on the floor, and when I raise my arms, I notice the bandages wrapped tightly around both of them. I sit up. According to the clock, it's 10 at night.
外暗いなじゃないわよこの恩知らず。目が覚めたらまず言うべきことがあるんじゃない？
遠坂、なんだ、いたのか。
いたのかじゃないわよ。あんたの真横でずっと看病してやってたのに随分な態度じゃない。
I didn't know that. That's ungrateful of me.
すまない。どうも頭が固まってる。うまく物事を考えられないんだが、とにかくありがとう、遠坂。またお前の世話になっちまった。
まあ別に大したことじゃないからいいけど、シロもあれだけの怪我だったんだから意識が朦朧としてるのも当然だしさ。で、痛いところはないの？とりあえず外傷は塞がってるけど中身まではわからないから、異常があるんなら手当てしないとまずいでしょ。
いや、だるいだけで痛むところはない。ただなんだか
I feel like I'm floating. I don't know how I ended up here. I don't remember what I did today.
遠坂、学校は？俺はあの後どうなったんだ？
大丈夫、みんなのことは安心なさい。学校にはキレイがフォローに行ったから。廊下の補修とか事後処理はあいつがするから考えなくていいわ。あれでも新職なんだし、これぐらいさせなきゃ罰が当たるでしょ。
あいつが？それじゃ学校の方は？
大事にはなってないわ。病院に運び込まれた生徒は多いけど命に別状はないみたい。
Oh, that's good.
みんな栄養失調ってことで 2,3 日病院で休む程度だって。
It's good that no one ended up dying.
そうか、それは。
That's a relief. Dissolving the bounded field took longer than expected, but I wasn't too late. The instant I relax, every last bit of strength floods out of me. I breathe out deeply and I lean back against the wall.
じゃあ俺の体の方も琴峰が治してくれたのか。いくら遠坂でもあれだけの傷は治せないだろう。
何言ってるのよ。それはあんたが勝手に直したの。
Oh, from Saber's skill,
バーサ
right?
ーカーの時と一緒。とりあえず傷を塞ぐだけなら超がつくほどの回復力だけど。
あるわけないだろう。俺だってわけがわからないんだ。セイバーと契約するまでは普通の体だったよ。
もしかして自分が知らないだけで祖先がトカゲだったとかない？
あのな、真剣な顔でそういう怖い冗談は言わないでくれ。俺だって気持ち悪いんだぞ。自分の体が自分の知らないものになってるようなものなんだから。
いいんじゃない？何はどうあれそれで何度も命を流れてるんだから。もう2回も助けられたことだし、トカゲになるぐらいは妥協できる交換条件だと思うけど。
遠坂、重病人をいじめて楽しいのか？
さっきまで重病人だった人でしょ。まあともかくセイバーに感謝しなさいよね。理屈はわからないけどシローの体がそうなったのはセイバーのおかげなんだし。
My brain finally starts working. There's something I need to do. I needed her. I called her. So she came, and she saved me. I need to tell her something right away. I stand up too quickly. Pain shoots through my body as I move, but I can't let that stop me.
遠坂、セイバーは？
道場にいるわ。私は部屋に荷物取りに行ってくるわね。
Tosaga heads over to the outbuilding. My joints creak with pain. I grit my teeth and try to endure it as I head toward the dojo. I reach the dojo. Saber is sitting in a seiza style as if she's meditating.
シロ、目が覚めたのですか？
Saber notices me coming in, hurries to her feet, then rushes over to me.
すまない。今気がついたんだ。それでセイバー。
すまないではありません。あなたには言いたいことが山ほどある。私を置いて敵の誘いに乗ったこと、一人で戦おうとしたこと、自身の体を気遣おうともしなかったこと、分かっているのですか？そのどれもが死に直結する愚行です。いや、実際あなたは死にかけていた。こうして私を追い詰めて何が楽しいのです？
いや、その。
何ですか？生半可な弁明では引き下がりません。 今日という今日はとことんあなたの考えを聞かせていただきますから。
Saber comes at me with all the rage and force of a hurricane. She's so intense. I'm not sure how to explain it, but I'm kind of enjoying Saber being so emotional.
分かってる。ちゃんと話す。だから話をしよう、セイバー。体の方はこの通り大丈夫だからさ。
シロ、持ち直したのですか？
ああ、そうみたいだ。とりあえず生き延びてる。
そうですか。それはよかった。
Why that angry look from a few seconds ago, Gao? Saber heaves a relieved sigh and smiles softly as if celebrating my recovery. It helps me understand that even Saber, stoic as she always is acting like this because of how much I worried her. I wasn't relying on Saber, but she still accepted me as someone to fight alongside. How stupid of me. I hadn't realized the extent to which she trusted me. And I couldn't extend the most basic trust of just letting her fight.
セイバー。
I speak up more comfortably now. I'm finally able to look her in the eye, and it feels natural.
はい。何ですか、シロ。
すまない。俺がバカだった。
I bow my head.
シロ、やめてください。先ほどのは言葉のあやです。怒っていたのは確かですが、あなたに謝ってもらう必要は。
ある。パートナーとしてセイバーに謝るのは当然だ。心配させてすまなかった。セイバーといる限り、俺は二度と一人では戦わない。
シロ、それは。
ああ、セイバー、お前の力を貸してくれ。俺一人じゃ他のマスターには勝てない。俺にはお前の助けが必要だ。
それでは今までの行動が間違いだったと認めるのですね。シローはマスターとして後方支援に徹し、戦うのは私の役割だと。
Well, I still don't want to see Saber hurt. That's why I forbid her from fighting. And that's where I was wrong. Ever since I decided to fight with her, I should have just put everything I had into helping her.
いや、俺は自分が間違っていたとは思わない。セイバーが俺を守るなら、俺もセイバーを守る。セイバーだけを戦わせるなんてことはできない。
Saber doesn't answer. The mood in the dojo turns frosty. I just can't let this go. I lift my head, thinking I'll just have to beg until she accepts my determination. But then...
その堅くなさは実にあなたらしい。
そのセイバ
まったく。今さら答えるまでもないでしょう。私はあなたの剣です。私以外の誰があなたの力になるのですか、シロ。
Saber extends her left hand. I can't think of anything sensible to say, so I shake her hand. Our handshake forms something almost tangible. It's been a few days since we first met. It feels like we finally formed a real contract.
何握手なんてしてるの？二人とも。
Hey, why would she show up now of all times? Saber and I quickly let go of each other's hands.
なんか怪しいわね。まさか私に内緒で作戦会議をしてたとか？
いえ、そういうわけではないのです。そのマスターの体が健康かどうか脈を測っていただけですので。
Just checking his pulse. I'm dumbfounded. Saber just told a bald-faced lie. But why would Saber panic about this too?
へえ、変わった脈の取り方をするのね。
Tosaka regards Saber curiously. In response, Saber starts acting even more suspiciously, probably because she's not used to lying. I need to help her, this'll get even more awkward.
何の用だよ、父さん。部屋まで荷物を取りに行くとか言ってなかったか、さっき。
それそれ。 はいセイバー、これ。
ありがとう。リンには迷惑をかける。
Just like a hand Saber a bag. Saber looks surprisingly happy as she takes the bag.
それが最後だから気をつけなさいよね。いくら強制召喚だからって力ずくで武装したら服なんて消し飛ぶんだから。
申し訳ありません。突然のことだったのでそこまで考えが回らなかったのです。それで
まあね、単純なデザインだし制服みたいなものだし。綺麗なやつ、地味な服ばっかり私に押し付けるんだもの。まあ私には似合わない服だからいいけどさ。なんだってその服にこだわるのよ、セイバー。
ええ、シローが似合うと言いましたから。
I'm not following all of this, but it seems that that's Saber's third set of clothes. I don't have any women's clothing around the house, so Saber's been borrowing clothes from Tosaka. But yeah, I'd really appreciate it if they had their girl talk when I'm not around. I am a guy. It's been such a nice conversation until now too, but I don't really know what to do with myself when they get to talking about stuff like this. So not much happened afterward, and both Tosaka and Saber forced me to go to sleep in my room. I may have regained consciousness, but I'm still severely injured. Riders sliced my arms up so bad that under normal circumstances I'd have had to worry about whether I'd be able to use them again. Plus, I fell 3 stories, so I'm all broken and bruised. There's plenty I should be thinking about, but the two have agreed that the best thing for me to do right now is sleep so I can heal. But I let Shinji get away, and I'll need to settle things with him as quickly as possible. He didn't hesitate to activate the bounded field. Even I know how dangerous it'd be to let a master like that roam free.
眠ってる場合じゃない。だけど
Things go blank, like a dizzy spell swooping over me. The only thing that feels normal is my head. As soon as I lay down, my half-healed body just forces me off to sleep.
明日に
I don't have time to rest like this. Even if my body isn't fully healed, I need to find Shinji. Yeah, we need to make sure this doesn't happen again. Alright. Well, hey, I was right. Things are starting to pick up. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna go track down Shinji, I guess, in the next one. So I will see you all then. Bye!